Now, Senator Lummis from Wyoming is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nelson, I want to concentrate on cryptocurrency too and draw your attention to the recent Colonial Pipeline ransomware saga. Our law enforcement agencies were able to recover about 85% of the digital assets paid as ransomware within 2 weeks of the initial breach. One of the reasons that we were able to accomplish this was through the use of digital asset analytics providers like Chainalysis, Elliptic, and CipherTrace, which are highly effective at harnessing data available on distributed ledgers. Research from one of those firms highlights that illicit activity in the digital asset space has decreased from 2% in 2019 to 0.34% in 2020, which is much less than the amount of illicit cash activity each year. So my question to you, Mr. Nelson, is, isn't the Colonial Pipeline ransomware saga and other recent prosecutions demonstrative of how far the investigatory tools of law enforcement have come in the digital asset space?
Thank you. Thank you for that very salient question at this moment. I'm not in the government, so I'm not. I don't know exactly what tools FinCEN has at their disposal today. I do know that they are actively engaged on this question through their Bank Secrecy Act advisory group, where they engage with industry about tools to help support their AML CFT mission. And I can commit to you that if confirmed, I will be briefed on understanding what tools FinCEN does have, and we'll be very happy to come back to you and continue to discuss that with you, and ensure that they are aware of all the tools that are available out in the marketplace.
Thanks, Mr. Nelson. It seems to me like we would still be working on recovering this money if it was done by wire transfer or other traditional payment rails. So there are real advancements in this space of which many people, I think, are unaware. Mr. Nelson, I want to urge you and my colleagues to remember that all digital assets are not alike. It's pretty straightforward for investigators in digital assets like Bitcoin to comply with AML-BSA laws, for example. However, it's very difficult for users of Monero, for example, to comply with the law. The Monero white paper even states that other digital assets have, quote, critical flaws, they call them flaws, unquote, in that they leave a highly visible trail of transactions on a blockchain, which Monero doesn't do. So I would draw the committee's attention to an article in the Financial Times today that states that criminals are increasingly moving away from digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, and increasingly towards assets that have privacy-enhancing features like Monero. Mr. Chairman, I ask for unanimous consent that this article from the Financial Times be entered into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Nelson, do you have any thoughts on how we should treat digital assets that comply with our Bank Secrecy Act and anti-money laundering laws and our sanctions laws versus those that cannot comply with the law?
Thank you for that question, and if confirmed, I will commit absolutely to studying the issue and engaging with FinCEN leadership on this question. I think philosophically, the way I would approach it is to be less focused on the technology, but focused on crimes and criminals, and using the tools that we have at TFI to drive out the crimes and the criminals, and creating, obviously, space for appropriate use of our systems.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. And one last quick question. Can you talk a bit about your views on how responsible innovation can maintain U.S. economic leadership in the world? I refer specifically to China being in the final stages of developing its central bank digital currency, and the European Union announcing the European Payments Initiative of 2020. You know, we can be a global financial innovation leader, but it's a privilege, not a right. So thanks for your comments, and congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you.